so it's a movie called. This remind me of that movie called The Crying Game. It's an old movie that I watched as a kid. Don't ask me how the fuck I was able to watch this as a kid. My parents dropped the ball. My mom dropped the ball. This was not a kids movie, but it was basically a man meets a woman, and then he kind of take a liking to her. They fall in love, or he start to like her, and then he find out that she was a man. So like when they about to have sex, he finds out that she has a dick, and then he just, but he still continues to deal with her, and then anyway, that kind of has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It just reminded me of that, or reminded me of a Richard Pryor set where he basically tells you about how he end up falling for a transgender woman and didn't realize that she was a man, and because he was enjoying the experience and he was high out of his mind probably, he continued that relationship with that transgender man or transgender woman, I'm sorry, for a couple weeks until he just got tired of her, and then ended it. You know what I mean? But Richard Pryor was, of course, very honest in his comedy about a lot of his pitfalls, and even back then that shit was like stigmatized. But there's a few things to unpack with this. So number one, I'd like to say that, damn, this is an example of a fragile male ego and toxic masculinity, and of course, honestly, it is. But I'd also have to be honest and and forthright and say that I'm not that fucking evolved either. So if I found myself uh, in the midst of having relations with somebody who was born a man who has a penis, I won't get into a philosophical debate about you know transgender, or cisgender, or what's a real woman and what's a real man and all that kind of stupid shit. Because I do feel like you have the right to identify. You have the right to identify as whatever or whoever you want to be identified as. Um, and also on a deeper level, sexuality and like gender is kind of on the spectrum in a lot of ways. So like we androgynous by nature. We kind of have female and male parts anyway. So that's just a philosophical debate that I won't really get into. However, how fucking ever, I'm a human fucking being. Um, and although I respect your right to be whoever you want to be, I also prefer women who were born women with all female parts. Personally, but I won't get into a debate on what's right or wrong or gay or anything like that. But this situation where this collegiate athlete found himself on a Tinder date with a transgender woman. It's reported as a transgender woman, but like they showed a picture of this guy, it looked like an old white dude. So it's like, how did you not know? But that that could be a misreport. So I don't know. But the report is that he met this person on Tinder. This person gave him oral sex, and then he found out later that this was a man. So he went back to confront, or was born a man. Um, forgive me for the pronouns, and I don't know everything I need to know about that, about the pronouns and how it all works. Was it transgender, or was it a man dressing up as a woman, or is that the same thing? I don't know. But anyway, it's not a here nor there. It's a lot to fucking unpack, man. But what I will say is, because there is a stigma on sexuality and being gay, it does contribute to fragile male ego, where this kid. But I mean, we got to be honest. He was a kid. He was 18, 19, where he felt like he'd had relations with the man, and now he's gay, and now he has to kill this guy because his feelings are hurt or his ego is bruised. Um, that's one side of it, and then also there's also a very valid side where this transgender woman should divulge that she was born a man and give that kid the choice to choose if he want to go through with that, and not have him find out by another channel or another avenue, or find out afterwards after you guys have had relations. But it's also a lesson in not trying to fuck everybody, man. You can't fuck everybody, man. You can't go just be on Tinder meeting motherfuckers and linking up with them and not even knowing their last name or seeing a baby picture. I respect everybody's right to be who they want to be, but I also implore you to respect everybody's right to choose on the other end of the spectrum, man. So if you were born something then other than what you feel that you are now, let motherfuckers know. Especially a kid who is a super athlete because he played D1 football. Trying to walk light so I won't victim shame, but the reality is we all got to make better decisions. Because now it's 2 lives lost. But I don't want no trouble though, man. Let me get to work. Let me blur out my work shit because I don't want these folks to fire me. But I'll holler at y'all.